Hi, everybody. Good evening. It's great to be back again with yet another YouTube Live. And I'm Shuchi Rungta, and I have Mr. Premal Parekh and Kaushik with us, with me today. And we are going to have a very, very interesting discussion today on relative strength concept. I think one of the strongest concept which works in the market, which has given seamless returns. And I think Pramalji has been with us from quite some time. He's explained this also, and because it is so important concept, we wanted to do it again. We wanted to have further clarifications with him. So over to you, Kaushik.
Yeah, so thank you, Suchi. Premal ji will start with the concept of relative strength. तो हम चाह रहे हैं कि आप हमें relative strength समझाओ आज के सेशन में कि what is a relative strength and how one should look at charts when trading relative strength. So over to you, Premal sir. आपसे हम सीखना चाहते हैं कि
आप
Okay,
अपना
very good
शेयर भी
evening.
स्क्रीन भी शेयर कर सकते हो.
Yeah, first let me talk about the concept and then we can go into the
Yes,
screen share. See,
absolutely,
basically,
absolutely.
first, very good evening to all the viewers who have joined us live, and probably many will go after the session and they would like to see the recordings. So, a warm welcome to everybody. It's always a pleasure to talk to the team of Elon Markets and Stockage. These people are so energetic that I always feel so motivated talking to you people. I'm so excited every time that रिलेटिव स्ट्रेंथ आपके सिस्टम के अंदर नहीं है, आपके आप लोगों की टीम के अंदर है. Okay. Anyways, this concept, which is of relative strength, I know many RS warriors जो हमारे ग्रुप में 5,500 warriors है जो हमारे ग्रुप में इस एनालिसिस को अब तक स्टडी कर चुके हैं. For them it is nothing new, but obviously for many people who will be joining us in the Goa conclave and who are right now joining us on this live session, I will give a brief introduction. See, basically होता ये है कि हम किसी भी स्टॉक को लेते हैं जो नाम हमें अच्छा लगता है. जैसे I asked Suchi or somebody else and she might like L&T, State Bank of India, ICICI Bank, Reliance and every other name which is on the जो हमारे मुंह में होता है, by our heart होता है कि भाई ये स्टॉक अच्छा है, ये कंपनी फंडामेंटली साउंड है, इसमें मुझे इन्वेस्टमेंट करना चाहिए. But what market likes is a different question. What we like is one side of the story. What market likes is a different story. Okay. So, as a relative strength practitioner, what we expect is we prefer a stock which the market likes. Now, when I say
Right.
what the market likes, basically I am trying to see the demand in the stock, a consistent ongoing demand. People on an ongoing basis buying a one particular stock which they feel has a potential to go ahead upwards northbound and give great returns to the investors. Okay, so the whole concept where we are the center of a story when we pick a stock, it shifts base to the whole concept where what market likes, I'm ready to buy that. That is where we come into the picture. Okay, this is the first basic thing. Second important thing, when we measure relative strength, what we want is there is a benchmark index which is Nifty. As we all know, it comprises of 50 largest market cap stocks which keep on shuffling as the time जो SEBI करता है. What we want is ये जो benchmark 50 stocks है उसके आगे हमारा stock perform होना चाहिए.
Right.
Because if we can generate a return which is equal to the Nifty, we can straight away go buy Nifty Bs or something which is a mutual fund which reflects the Nifty's component. It's so simple.
Right.
But we are a direct investor into the market where we expect to outperform this benchmark. Okay? अभी इसको measure कैसे करें? उसको measure करने के लिए we need a tool. We need something which can consistently show us whether we are outperforming in this stock the benchmark or not. Okay? And that should not be like every day evening I have to go and calculate it manually whether it did the outperformance today or not. It should be something which plots automatically on the chart. Okay? And when you open the chart, you see it for a split second, maybe not more than 10, 20 or 30 seconds, and you come to know the conclusion that this stock is still an outperformer. Okay? as I always like to tell, I recruit Tendulkars in my team. Okay, all my webinars, if you go on the Elon market, they are somewhere with the word Tendulkar. Now, why do
Yes,
I refer
Right.
to the word Tendulkar is because these are consistent performers. If you go to the history of Indian cricket and see the last 20-30 years, you won't find a better name than Tendulkar, which has performed for a longer duration. He was in the team for more than 2 decades. Okay, so he
correct.
was a consistent performer, which made him stand in the team. Okay, similarly is the case of an RS positive stock. When you pick something which is RS positive, at the first instance, when you pick it, it's turning Tendulkar, then it matures as a Tendulkar, then it keeps inside the performing inside the team for many years, maybe 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, and then it delivers the return. Okay, so there is
Correct.
a correlation with the name. Where I use the phrase Tendulkar, it comes with the name that the stock is supposed to be behaving like a Tendulkar who performs and delivers great alpha returns to the investor. Okay, the flip side of the story is when the markets are underperforming, what does an RS stock do? The idea again is if the market falls by say let's say 10%, then my stock should fall less. Okay.
Right.
So when we talk of an RS positive stock, it is both sides. It is not one side. It outperforms when the market performs. It underperforms in the terms of falling lesser when the market falls. Okay. So as an investor, you get lesser drawdowns and bigger rises. So that's the crux of the story. So mainly all the technical tools which people use, they might be using RSI, MACD, everything other. It plots after the price plots. Okay, because the price moves first and then these tools have been plotted. I haven't seen a tool which plots first before the price. Okay,
Right.
but here with relative strength, what we do is we have a system. It's just not a simple indicator. We have something which we call as a system. A system to ongoing basis identify whether the stock is a strong performer or not. Okay. And when I have this, I can confidently be in my position. See, the biggest difficult task for a retail investor is if Mr. Kaushik has bought something for 100 rupees and tomorrow if price goes to 80 rupees, he will be a long-term investor in the counter. He will say,
Right.
जब 100 रुपए आएगा तो मैं बेचूंगा 80 में नहीं बेचूंगा उस चक्कर में प्राइस 60 तक भी जा सकता है 40 भी हो सकता है so
Right.
basically now the investor is stuck okay difficult task is again on the other side आपने 100 रुपए में कुछ खरीदा उसका प्राइस हो गया 30 बढ़ के 130 ओके और वो भी हो गया लेट्स से इन 6 months नाउ द पर्सन रियली गेट्स इम्पेशेंट उसको लगता है 6 महीने में 30% रिटर्न मिल रहा है लेट मी बुक इट because 30% 6 months is a good return any by any standards okay so the person makes an early exit okay well this is just the starting phase इसके बाद स्टॉक जो है it has a potential to go up to 100% 200% gains but just because he was impatient he didn't have a tool to analyze whether I should keep holding this stock or whether I should sell it. अगर ये आंसर उसके पास with clear clarity होता, then he would be inside the stock and he would try to get the max out of the stock. Okay, so this is where the relative strength concept has comes as the whole story comes into the picture. It gives a terrific way to identify your winners, be with the winners, pick winners which are good, which are emerging, and make a journey where you generate great alpha over a period, holding on to those investments. It's the most peaceful way of doing. You don't have to be edgy about market falls, drawdowns, this, that every single day. You can keep track of this tool which I offer to every RS warrior जो हमने systems बनाई है. See, they are very simple tools, nothing complicated. It's just being part of it and start using it. I guarantee every person who use these tools, within 1 week or max 2 weeks, the person will be absolutely fluent with using those tools. It
Absolutely.
only takes time to mature yourselves to depend on those tools and keep money invested inside. That's the biggest task because psychology matters.
Yes.
To stand yourself in a profitable position is the difficult part than to be in a loss position. Because अपने को
Yes.
हमेशा
Right.
सो प्रमल जी, एक क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहूंगी. सो ये जो आरएस का कॉन्सेप्ट है, डू वी एक्चुअली अप्लाई इट ओनली ऑन स्विंग ट्रेडिंग एंड फ्रॉम फॉर अ पोजिशनल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, कि उसे शॉर्ट टर्म इंट्राडे ट्रेडिंग वाले कॉन्सेप्ट में भी इसको अप्लाई कर सकते हैं?
नहीं, I would not recommend doing it for intraday. Basically, see,
हाँ.
स्विंग ट्रेडिंग में ये होता है कि आप एक नीचे का ड्रॉ डाउन पॉइंट देखते हैं, जैसे नीचे कोई डोजी देख लिया या सेलिंग एक्सर्शन
हाँ.
वाला कैंडल देख लिया, तो यू इनिशिएट लॉन्ग्स. ओके,
एब्सोल्युटली.
5 6 7 8 कैंडल जाएगा, ऊपर जाएगा, और ऊपर एक डोजी बन गया या एक्सर्शन कैंडल आपको दिखेगा, देन यू आर आउट ऑफ द
जी.
पोजीशन. ठीक है,
करेक्ट है.
सो
करेक्ट.
लेट्स से द होल मूव ऑफ द स्विंग इज 20%. तो
ठीक है.
एक तो कैंडल नीचे का छोड़ दीजिए, जब आपका कंफर्मेशन आएगा उस चक्कर में आपका 5% चला जाएगा नीचे का. ठीक
जी.
है, ऊपर भी
Right.
एक्सॉर्शन के बाद आप एक आध कैंडल के लिए यूज वेट करेंगे कंफर्मेशन के लिए, तो ऊपर 3-4% आपका चला जाएगा. तो 20% में से आपका 8-10% तो ऐसे निकल गया दो साइड का.
Right.
So what does a swing trader ideally make? In a 20% move, he will be able to generate something like 8-10% return. Okay. Now think of a scenario where he takes 5 trades based on swing. Okay, and he is successful in 3 and not in 2. He fails in 2 trades. Okay, तो ये जो
Right.
10% का रिटर्न है वो और घट जाएगा,
Okay.
because his strike rate is not 100%. So basically, see, swing work. Swing gives you the high kind of where you know आप कैसीनो में गए और इमीडिएट आपने कुछ पैसा कमा लिया, उस टाइप का आपको हाई मिलेगा, and you will feel content doing a swing trading. I'm not against swing trading, but this is the crux of the whole swing trading idea. Okay. Now here I am talking of something which you enter. Okay, you enter at a point, maybe at a point where the stock has just started to turn RS positive. Like it has just started to, outperform the benchmark, and you make a
Right.
journey with the stock. Okay, it is very likely that out of 10 stocks when you pick, 80% of the stocks they keep you invested into the counter for a minimum of 6 months up to 3 years.
Okay.
Okay,
Great.
and the return percentage expectations in this duration can be anywhere between right from 30% up to 300-400%.
Okay.
So if you are an investor who wants to make this money, you have to understand the concepts of relative strength.
Absolutely.
Right.
बाकी आपको गुल्ली डंडा खेलना है और 10-20% में बैटिंग करके घूम फिर के वापस आना है, then there are many things we can do. See,
Right.
this strategies, the basic technical analysis, जो RSI, MACD, all these techniques, I studied them way back in 2001, which is like 21 years back. Okay, from 2001 to 2005-6, I extensively used all these things. But मेरा एनुअलाइज रिटर्न कोई खास नहीं आ रहा था, मुझे कभी बड़ा
अच्छा.
सक्सेस मिलता था, कभी नहीं मिलता था. Especially the biggest problem is this system fail miserably when market is sideways, choppy markets.
जी.
ये बार-बार ऊपर नीचे जाने का सिस्टम ही फेल हो जाता है, because the market are not trending. ठीक है, so people get really frustrated waiting and waiting, endlessly waiting for a stock to perform when the markets are not trending. Okay, this
Right.
happened with me also. Okay, but then came a point when I met my mentor who is based in USA. I've gone many times online and named him also. His name is Mr. Tom Dorsey. By the sheer luck of meeting him on Facebook for the first time in 2008, I was introduced to him. He pushed me across this concept. I started practicing it, and then he was in India in 2011, where I actually went and met him for a few hours, few days, and I hosted him, and I got the knowledge of the whole idea how this is played.
Right.
Now, this guy at that point in 2011, he was running a portfolio which was crossing 50,000 CR in USD.
Okay.
And he was doing a 21-day rickshaw rally in India. Like he was driving a rickshaw with his colleagues and exploring the country right from Jaisalmer to Trivandrum.
Hmm.
So I was like shocked. When people here they invest 5-10 lakh rupees and all the
Hmm.
time they are involved with the market. And
Hmm.
here I'm meeting one guy who is investing billions of rupees. He's not looking at the market. I mean, 2008, 9, 10, we didn't have 3G and 4G on networks on mobile. So
Ji.
Hmm.
he was at complete peace and he was exploring the country on a rickshaw run. So that was a big shocker to me. That this
Hmm.
guy has something inside which can give you absolute bliss in life, which can
Hmm.
give you huge money returns on your investment, and you can
Hmm.
live life and grow your wealth. These are the two
Right.
elements which attracted me to it.
So,
And I am
Premal ji,
here
I have.
to for everybody to use this system for their own benefit so that they can generate positive alpha for their investments.
So, Premal ji, I have a question that when we are checking for RS, so are we comparing it with only benchmark or we are comparing it with sectoral indexes also?
As an additional confirmation, obviously you
Hmm.
should do sectorial checking also. But see,
Okay.
what happens is, see, in a sector there can be leaders, there can be laggards. Okay,
Correct.
Right.
but then in a sector, laggards also sometimes start turning leaders. I
Hmm.
mean, it can't be always that a laggard is a laggard forever. No,
Right.
sometimes also laggards will move. Okay,
Hmm.
so when you do sectorial analysis, sometimes
Hmm.
you miss out on lapping of those laggards. You know,
Hmm.
what's important is there is a benchmark. We have it pretty robust, and my experience over all this year, it clearly
Hmm.
says that when the comparison is with the benchmark, I mean, what is a
Hmm.
benchmark? They are the titans of our market. I mean,
Hmm.
we have the largest market cap companies inside this
Hmm.
benchmark. No? We talk of Reliance, State Bank, L&T, whatever we talk,
Hmm.
they are the largest market. Now,
Hmm.
a composite benchmark, which is moving, say, let's say, in last 6 months, suppose, let's assume it moves 6%.
Hmm.
Okay? And here you have a portfolio of your own, which is of RS positive stocks, and that moved 9%. Wouldn't you be a happy investor?
Right.
Because in 6 months, you are generating an alpha of 3% plus. That is annualized 6% plus. So when we talk about history of Nifty, which was like, in the last 10 years, if we go and check Nifty, it can be anywhere between 8 to 13%. And with my methods, if you can generate an alpha of 15 to 20%, you know,
Hmm.
that's pretty robust. You know, so my whole concept primarily floats on the Nifty index, comparing
Hmm.
each and every stock with the Nifty on an ongoing basis. And then if I want additional confirmations, I will dip down into the sectorial charts. That's also a
Right.
doable.
Right. So, Premal sir, should we go to charts? So, if you can explain the concept with help of charts, so that would be interesting.
Yes, yes, absolutely. See, viewers who are joining us, this is just a
Huh.
very, very brief intro. So this cannot be done in a limited time span in a in-depth format. But if you like the concept, there are two things which I want the viewers over here to do. First and the
Hmm.
foremost is I already have 3 webinars recorded live on the Elon Packets platforms, which you can stage by stage, you know, refer to and understand the whole concept in depth over there. This is very
Hmm.
important. Okay.
Right.
Second is to push this concept one on one with people who are learning
Hmm.
RS. I am going to
Right.
be a part of the Goa conclave, which is happening
Hmm.
in April next month. So maybe 25 days around approximately from now. So wherein
Right.
I would want each and every RS warrior, as we name them, the person who are into our group,
Hmm.
to come to us and explore many, many kinds of charts and setups. Now, it can happen so like at one point you have maybe 15 stocks which are turning RS
Hmm.
positive. And somebody would be literally confused, which is the one which I should pick up. You know? So
Right.
that's exactly the concept which I am going to discuss when I am going to be at the conclave. If
Right.
I were you, this would be my candidate which I would like to pick up, out of
Hmm.
this 10, 15 candidates. Because we all know we can't pick up 10, 15 candidates altogether.
Hmm.
We can pick up one, two, or three stocks. But I want people who are with me, who are close to me, who meet me personally, to clearly understand which is the best stock out of this 15, which I would
Hmm.
pick up. Now, there is a
Right.
possibility I can also be a little wrong sometimes, because every human
Hmm.
has a right to be wrong. But then you have to pick up something.
Hmm.
It has to be the best, but you can't be
Right.
100% right. Nobody achieves that. But yes, I do have experience to pick up for all these years. We have practiced RS since 2008. You know, but based on what feels good to me and the observation and the setups which I like, I am going to recommend people who come to me at the Goa Conclave to understand what's further to pick those stocks. Okay, that's the idea.
प्रमल जी अभी एक कॉन्सेप्ट देते हैं अपने व्यूअर्स को, अगर आप चार्ट शेयर
Yes,
करें तो वो प्लॉट
yes, I'm
करके कि
sharing.
कैसे अपने उसको प्लॉट करें. So I think they will get more clarity as exactly what we are trying to say and how 15-20 stocks can get screened at one point of time together. And that choice is difficult because money is scarce. So yes.
Obviously, सबके पास money scare है. Hello.
Yeah, I think एक मिनट लोड हो रहा है. There is I think there is some connectivity issue with Ramalji. Is it at your end, Ramalji?
I guess
Can't see.
because from my system everything is okay.
Can you see his screen,
No.
Kaushik?
Yeah.
Now I
Now
can
it
see his
is.
screen.
Am I
आप
audible?
speak
Am
रहा
I
है.
audible?
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah. You are audible.
yes. आपकी आवाज बीच में कट रही है, but ठीक है. I think now it's better. Right.
Okay. Am I audible also?
हाँ, एकदम.
Yeah.
Yes, you are audible, Premal ji.
Okay, great. Fine. See, these are some of, I mean, see, I have several watch lists which I follow, and
Hmm.
oh, system is a little slow.
प्रमल जी, there is some connectivity issue. I think एक बार आप refresh कर लीजिए. Kaushik, can you hear him?
No, I cannot hear him.
I
So
think there's some connectivity issue because उनकी screen भी freeze हो गई है.
screen भी
So
freeze हो गई.
हाँ, तो I think he should be back in a minute or so. That's okay. So we have a few questions by PS. What is about the success rate, RS strategy? So yes, PS. Once we discuss the strategy, we will take up that question.
Yeah. So Suchi, maybe by that time, if you can share our website of this conference, of this conclave, where they can take information about this conclave, and if they want to register, they can do it.
Right. So
So
मैं
if
अपने
you can
viewers
share
को
your screen.
बताना चाहूँ. Yes, I'll just share my screen. I think he
So till
just
the
got
time
his.
Premal ji is joining in, so we'll share information about the conclave.
Yeah. So मैं बताना चाहूँगी कि Elon Markets is basically doing a conclave, traders conclave, mega trading conclave in Goa, where there'll be speakers. There are experts like Pramalji and many others who are going to share their exclusive strategy with you guys, that how they trade, what is the correct method to trade, and they will do live trading also. So we'll be having some live trading sessions also. If you can see here on my screen, We have some strategy sessions, we have live market sessions also. This entire itinerary is there for you guys on the website. आप देख सकते हैं. There will be networking sessions also where you can build that one-to-one rapport with each and every speaker, and it will be a great learning for all of you. So the link is already there in the description video. It is also there below the video which you can see right now. So you can click there and go and register and see all the details which is there. Every speaker has his own niche, and attending this specific particular conclave will give you a lot of insight with different aspects of trading, कि ट्रेडिंग इस तरीके से भी कर सकते हैं, इस तरीके से भी कर सकते हैं, एंड एट द सेम टाइम आप अपने ऑब्जेक्टिव को उस पर्टिकुलर स्ट्रैटेजी के साथ मैप कर सकते हैं. कौशिक, एम आई करेक्ट है? बिकॉज हर एक
Yeah, right.
इंडिविजुअल की
So
ऑब्जेक्टिव अलग होती है, कि कोई पर्टिकुलरली इंट्राडे ट्रेडिंग करना चाहता है और कोई स्पेसिफिकली इन्वेस्टमेंट या स्विंग ट्रेडिंग करना चाहता है, तो दैट ऑब्जेक्टिव कैन बी मैच. So we have Pramal ji back. Pramal ji, welcome back.
Suchi, just to add to your thing,
हाँ,
जो भी हम ये कॉन्फ्रेंस कर रहे हैं, ये कॉन्क्लेव कर रहे हैं, उसके पीछे का ऑब्जेक्टिव ये है कि हम सारे टाइप्स ऑफ ट्रेडिंग स्टाइल को केटर कर पाए. सो somebody is
correct.
a positional trader, somebody is a investor, so they will be sharing their idea about investments and trading. तो RS कॉन्सेप्ट एक उसका एक पार्ट है कि जिसमें पोजिशनल एंड स्विंग के ऊपर फोकस किया जाएगा. फिर कुछ हैं जो ट्रेडिंग स्कैल्पिंग कर रहे हैं, तो स्कैल्प कैसे होता है. कुछ इंट्राडे ट्रेडर्स हैं, इंट्राडे ट्रेडिंग कैसे करनी चाहिए, ऑप्शंस में ट्रेड कैसे करना चाहिए. सो वी आर
जी,
कवरिंग एवरी स्टाइल ऑफ ट्रेडिंग in the conclave. So it is going to be a very interesting conclave.
yes, absolutely. Pramal ji,
I
welcome back.
Yes, absolutely. I think there is some bandwidth issue which I am facing. So what I will do is I will stop the cam first and
Yes,
try
Okay.
to show the setups so that I get a little more bandwidth.
correct. आप screen share कर लो खाली, तो I think that will be helpful. Does the I think, let me add this now. थोड़ा सा डिले करें. आई विल रिक्वेस्ट ऑल द व्यूअर्स टू हैव लिटिल बिट ऑफ पेशेंस. थोड़ा सा टेक इशू कभी कभी किसी के साथ भी हो सकता है. आई थिंक ये कुछ चीजें हैं जो हम किसी के हाथ में नहीं है. सो एंड आई एम श्योर माय व्यूअर्स आर वेरी वेरी पेशेंट विद दिस.
Right.
So I'll just take this question by Vajit Ji Menon. Meanwhile, that RS scans are available in stockage or not. तो RS scans है available stockage पे, और प्रमल जी exactly अभी हमें इस सेशन में दिखाएंगे कि हम उनको कैसे यूज कर सकते हैं, चार्ट्स पे उसको कैसे यूज कर सकते हैं. So yes, I think the screen is visible to all of you now. I think he got disconnected again. So RS 123 versus 55, which one is better? Again, I think we'll wait for Pramal ji to answer that query for you. वो बताएंगे कि कौन सी पैरामीटर एग्जैक्टली हमें देखनी चाहिए और उसका लॉजिक क्या है उस पर्टिकुलर पैरामीटर को यूज करने के लिए.
PS इनका एक क्वेश्चन है कि प्लीज आस्क हिम व्हाट इज द सक्सेस रेट ऑफ RS स्ट्रैटेजी. तो जनरली कोई भी स्ट्रैटेजी होती है उसका सक्सेस रेट बहुत ज़्यादा हद तक ट्रेडर के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है कि वो कितनी परसेंट मूव कैप्चर करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. राइट.
करेक्ट.
तो जैसे सूची हमने कल के लाइव में डिस्कस किया था ओपन इंटरेस्ट
हाँ,
एंड ट्रेडिंग ऑप्शंस. ठीक है. अब
जी,
उसका एक्यूरेसी 93% इसके लिए क्योंकि हम बहुत छोटा पोर्शन उसमें कैप्चर करते हैं, पूरा ट्रेंड कैप्चर नहीं करते। तो
सही है,
अगर
हाँ।
एक्यूरेसी अगर हम बढ़ाने जाएँ, तो आप
हुँ,
पॉइंट्स कैप्चरिंग छोटा करते हो। अगर
हुँ।
पॉइंट्स कैप्चरिंग अगर आप ज़्यादा बड़ा कर रहे हो तो उसकी एक्यूरेसी कम हो जाती है, राइट? तो ये एक डायरेक्ट रिलेशन है, मतलब तो ये समझना पड़ेगा कि अगर आपका मोटिव क्या है। अगर बड़ी मूव, एक ट्रेड में बड़ी मूव चाहिए तो अ, उसकी एक्यूरेसी कम हो जाएगी बाय डिफ़ॉल्ट, इट्स द नेचर ऑफ द मार्केट।
एक्चुअली वोलैटिलिटी है ना मार्केट में कौशिक, तो बेसिकली द वे द मार्केट मूव्स इन, सो कई बार वो वोलैटिलिटी में कई बार वो स्टॉप ट्रिगर हो जाता है, तो आई थिंक दैट इज द रीजन व्हाई थोड़ी सी स्ट्राइक रेशियो कम हो जाती है द मोमेंट वी एक्सटेंडेड टू अ लार्जर टाइम फ्रेम।
राइट। So
एंड
if we
मैं अपने
if we
व्यूअर्स।
go back to our analysis of yesterday, to some extent we were right. So Nifty closed somewhere around 17,300 and price action was bullish. So bullish view था and वो resistance बता रहा था कि 17,300 पे resistance है, तो बहुत easily पार नहीं हो पाया। और क्लोजिंग टाइम पे 17,300 क्रॉस हुआ, जहाँ पे फिर पुट ऐड हो गए थे आफ्टर 1:30. So
राइट,
that's a very
राइट।
interesting study. So I'll be sharing how to analyze open interest and how one can use OI to trade intraday in Nifty in the Goa conclave. So if somebody is interested in understanding usage of OI and trading index, तो आपको कॉन्क्लेव में ज़रूर पार्टिसिपेट करना चाहिए।
कौशिक और बताना चाहूँगी अपने व्यूअर्स को यहाँ पे कि कल हमारा जो यूट्यूब लाइव है मॉर्निंग 11 एम, जो लाइव मार्केट में हम लाइव सेशन करते हैं 11 एम, वहाँ हम हार्मोनिक पैटर्न्स के बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे और एट द सेम टाइम हम ये डिस्कस करेंगे कि ट्रैप, जो टेक्निकल एनालिसिस में कई बार हम ट्रैप हो जाते हैं, उनसे कैसे हम बचे। तो वो भी एक काफी इंटरेस्टिंग सेशन होने वाला है। आई एम वेरी एक्साइटेड टू लर्न दैट।
So I guess
प्रमल जी के पास थोड़ा सा आई थिंक बैंडविड्थ इशू हो रहा है आज।
hmm,
So, PS, I would just like to highlight what you're trying to say that
hmm,
कौशिक ने जो बताया कि कोई भी स्ट्रैटेजी तो जो थोड़ी सी लॉन्गर ड्यूरेशन के है लिए है, तो दैट डजंट मीन कि एक्यूरेसी आरएस की कम है विज द ओपन इंटरेस्ट। इट डजंट रियली मीन टू से एक जनरल स्ट्रैटेजी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से अगर हम बात करेंगे तो शॉर्टर टर्म टाइम फ्रेम की जो स्ट्रैटेजी की एक्यूरेसी लेवल है वो on an average is higher than a swing trading or an investment strategy. It's not about specific strategy as per se. Kaushik, am I on the right track?
yeah, right.
हाँ. प्रमल जी, आप are you there? No, I think we've lost him again. Sanguji, you can't really change the parameters of RS indicator in stockage. Stockage has specific RS scans, which is on specific time frames like a 55 period. कौशिक जी, आपके लिए क्वेश्चन है।
Hmm.
कल के मिस्टर अशोक शिंदे पूछ रहे हैं कि which app do you see graphics of total open interest?
Total open interest, so it's by trade point. So DefineEdge का एक tool है. You can
Hmm.
also see it in Opstra and you can also
Correct.
see it in Sensible. तो Opstra में graphic representation आता है because it's from the same founders.
Right.
तो वो graphic representation देते हैं.
So we have a question by Mr. Chauhan that how can he join RS Warrior? Kaushik, would you like to take this up?
Uh, so Suchi, you can go ahead. You can share the details. So I am
Okay,
checking with
so
Premal ji if I
अच्छा
can get
आप,
him. हाँ,
हाँ, please give him a call in case we
yeah.
get to know. So Mr. Chauhan, basically आप हमारे पास आर एस लाइक प्रमल जी की कोर्सेज है कुछ. मैं अगेन लेट मी जस्ट शेयर माय स्क्रीन विथ यू, यू विल गेट a clear understanding. Yeah. So उस कोर्स को अगर आप ले लोगे, यहाँ पे अगर आप यू कैन सिंपली टाइप प्रमल पारेख, and if you take his webinars, the webinar which is using RS model efficiently and becoming a blazing trainer. So these are a few two webinars both in English and Hindi जो उन्होंने किया है. So अगर आप ये webinar में participate करते हैं, if you learn and enroll for this particular webinar, you automatically get added to the RS Warrior group.
So Premal ji is joining in next 2 minutes. उनके लैपटॉप में इशू हो गया था, so he is logging in from a different laptop.
Okay, okay, great.
So
कौशिक जी,
हाँ.
आई थिंक आपका फेवरेट क्वेश्चन आ गया कि सेव आईटी इज आस्किंग that I'm not using any indicator specifically. Is it important? If it is not important, or in trading, or is our indicator setups very important?
So I trade without indicators.
That is
So
why I
my
asked you.
so I trade based on only price action, and
हाँ.
so there are three broader indicators. तीन family के होते हैं. एक तो होता है trend. तो मूविंग एवरेजेस, सुपर ट्रेंड, ये सारा ट्रेंड वाले डायरेक्शन में आ जाता है. एक मोमेंटम इंडिकेटर है कि आप पता कर रहे हो कि उसमें मोमेंटम कितना है. एंड थर्ड इज वॉल्यूम इंडिकेटर्स. ठीक है. सो you have to pick what kind of trader you are. If you are a mean reversion trader or a momentum trader, use RSI. So if you are a trend follower, use super trend and moving average. So at least one indicator will help. One indicator is more than enough. तो जो बहुत ज्यादा इंडिकेटर यूज करोगे तो भी आप कंफ्यूज हो जाओगे कि ट्रेडिंग डिसीजन क्या लेना है. सो
So
एंड
we
आई
have
ट्रेड
Pramalji back.
पूरा
Yeah.
कंप्लीटली विदाउट इंडिकेटर्स.
So Pramalji, are you?
Yes, am I audible now?
या
Yes, you are audible. बस आपकी स्क्रीन नहीं दिख रही है, वो आप शेयर कर ले.
Yes, I tried my best to do it twice, but somehow, every time I try to do it, it just goes, the system hangs
आप
off. So
आप
let
सबको
me
गोवा
try it
बुला
once
के
again.
रहेंगे.
I too want to be, I too want to be there. Okay, am I seen now? मतलब screen दिख रहा है
Yes.
मेरा?
जी, अब आपका स्क्रीन दिख रहा है. आपका
Great,
स्क्रीन.
great. Chalo, finally I could make something. Great.
Great.
So
हाँ.
basically, see here I will show you, try to show you a few stocks. जैसे एक अभी आप देख रहे हैं ऑन द स्क्रीन, आपको नाहर कैपिटल करके एक स्टॉक दिख रहा है ना? So these are the lines, static adaptive RS, which are one of our tools which we have customized and developed. जहाँ पे हमने दो लाइंस प्लॉट करके रखी है. आई विल एक्सपांड एंड शो इट टू यू. ये जो आपको ब्राइट ग्रीन लाइन दिख रहा है, दैट इज बेसिकली अडेप्टिव आरएस. इट प्लॉट्स फ्रॉम वन पर्टिकुलर डेट कंपेयरिंग द बेंचमार्क वर्सेस द स्टॉक्स आउट परफॉर्मेंस. और ये जो रेड लाइन नीचे है, दैट वी कॉल एज द जीरो लाइन. जब कोई भी स्टॉक इसके ऊपर जाना शुरू हो जाता है, दैट मीन्स इट इज आरएस पॉजिटिव. ओके, सो हियर एज यू कैन सी ऑन 23rd of February, this stock in the recent terms started turning RS positive. यहाँ पे उसके पहले थोड़ा भी था ऊपर, बाद में नीचे गया, and 23rd February 2021 it started turning RS positive. उसके बाद you can see the big moves it has made, and from that up till today, the stock has not been even once RS negative, as you can see on this. ये जीरो लाइन के नीचे नहीं जा रहा है. Now let's see and try to understand the performance of this stock which it has delivered. So let's go to the 22nd February date, and I will try using the this measure tool, and approximately, as you can see over here, as I pull this up, you can see that in the last 270 bars, had you been with this stock, you would have generated a return of 578%. I mean,
Right.
you anybody out there who is using any other technical tools, you know, you have to show me something which gives this kind of returns without going in and out of the system.
Right.
ट्रेड लिया, बेचा, बाद में फिर से लिया, बेचा, all these things. And यहाँ
Hmm.
पे this is a classic example where you know you are into the system for last one year something, 270 bars and 399 days. So approximately we are talking of 1 year and 2 months something, and the stock has given 570-80% return. Now this
Hmm.
can't happen with every stock. This is just one example, but then there can be many stocks with this. See, I can show you
Hmm.
one. This is Ganesh Housing. Here,
Hmm.
as you go in the history, over here it was going RS negative in this zone, and then it started turning RS positive. So
Hmm.
here,
Right.
I'm sorry, 6 January, the stock turned
Hmm.
RS positive. Okay, and
Right.
since then it has not gone for once RS negative. See here, I can
Hmm.
expand and show you. 5th or
Right.
6th January approximately, the stock has turned RS positive, and since
Hmm.
then, for the entire duration, you know, in the last 13 months, it has not gone RS negative. If you want to find the
Right.
returns, let's go over here and take the 6th Jan date. Let me try to plot it. Yes, I have 7th
Hmm.
Jan. It's okay. Sorry. And see, approximately
Right.
307 bars, 451 days, 800% return,
Hmm.
as you
Right.
can all see over here. Okay.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I can see there are many stocks which do flip flop. Like they turn RS positive, then they go RS negative. So, what I
Yeah.
always taught my followers is never go into flip flop stocks. Prefer stocks which stay RS positive for a longer duration, going by the history. I mean, whenever
Hmm.
you see a stock which has turned RS positive, you go and check the history of that stock, whether it is trying
Right.
to be on the positive side for a longer duration. If in the
Hmm.
history it has done so, it's very likely again it will do that. And from the point where it turns RS positive, you can start
Hmm.
initiating positions in tranches into a stock. Okay.
Right.
See, I can show you this healthcare global, wherein if you see the chart, you will see this is a flip flops kind of a stock.
Hmm.
See, here it turns positive, then it goes negative, again it turns positive, again it goes negative.
Hmm.
So if there is a selection of a stock wherein you run
Hmm.
a scanner, you get 10 stocks to select out of, the
Hmm.
first filter is you avoid the flip-flop stocks. You
Okay.
prefer
Achha.
stocks which are there in the history for a longer duration, which are positive, and you can start initiating positions in that stock.
Right.
But yes,
That is so.
definitely there are many systems which go into, you know, selection and how you pick up your positions. See, this is one of the stock, a recent talk of the overall social media also. But this is CMAC Limited. As you can see the name, it was in this phase. It was going RS positive, negative. Suddenly here after 29 July, you know, it has turned RS positive, and it still is coming near the zero line, but still not RS negative. And as you can see from here at this point, 22nd July, if you take, I'm sorry, uh, I will take an approximate date which is a little plus or minus, but okay. And you can see now here also, see, in a short span of 162 bars, which is
Hmm.
238 days, the stock has generated a return of 125%.
Right. Hmm.
Okay. Now, how do we compare? You know, there is also
Hmm.
one system wherein we compare these charts. We'll show you something like let's take any large cap. For example, Bank of Baroda is a frontline banking stock, which I want to compare with my system, whether it's an outperformer or an underperformer. And as you can see on this, you know, it has started to outperform. Okay, as you can
Hmm.
see on this.
Okay.
So what I will do is I will do a comparative study. And you asked me, no, that you do a sectorial study or not. So here you
Right.
can do that. I will show you something. So let's first conclude from where it started to outperform. So it is approximately, we are talking of around 6th January, yes, 5th or 6th January. So from this date, the stock has turned RS positive. Now
Hmm.
let's do something which shows us how much is the outperformance in absolute terms. Okay. So what I will do is I will take this to 6th January. Yeah, over here it is, and I will drag this up to 6th January so that we only see those candles which have generated after 6th of January. Okay.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now we have this. Now, see, as of now, there are two things, Nifty and Bank of Baroda. What it
Hmm.
shows us, Nifty from 6th as January, it has given a return of minus 1.72%.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay. While Bank of Baroda is already 35% plus.
Hmm.
Okay.
So this is one criteria. If you want to, further do a sectorial study, what I can add over here is a bank nifty, so that
Hmm.
I can compare with bank. You want a sectorial index to compare, no? So I will add a
Hmm.
bank over here,
Right.
Correct.
and okay. So now you have this as the whole, all the three
Hmm.
together, the nifty, the bank nifty, and the stock itself. So,
Okay.
see,
Hmm.
being this, I mean, had you bought Nifty on this particular date, your
Hmm.
stock, your ETF, matlab, if you had bought Nifty
Hmm.
Bs, your performance would have been minus around 2%. Had you
Hmm.
bought Bank Nifty, still you would have been minus approximately 1.72%. But had
Hmm.
you bought Bank of Baroda, your outperformance today would be 35%. You know,
Right.
so what more do you need? You are heavily outperforming the benchmark as well as the Nifty. This is the
Hmm.
whole idea which I want to show everybody, so that with the help of RS, you can start pick up outperformance which are going to be the future Tendulkars in your portfolio.
Right.
So,
Premalji, I
Pramal,
And
have a
then there are
question that
yes.
Premalji, I have a question that how much time do we have to spend to learn this art of relative strength, and what are the prerequisites? I mean, uh, should I know candlestick, or should I know chart patterns, or only RS chart is sufficient for trading and investing decision?
See, basically, there's a saying that practice makes you perfect. Okay.
Right.
So, what RS demands is to
Hmm.
understand the concept, to plot all this on the tools which we are providing to every RS warriors who are coming with us on board. It's very simple and very easy to do. Okay.
Okay.
What the difficult part is to build your conviction on this system and
Hmm.
initiate large positions gradually with phase wise, and being on these positions for longer duration. Now
Right.
that all comes with maturity and time. you know
Hmm.
if you learn today something, you are not going to be an expert of that in 10 days or 20 days. As you
Right.
experience your learning, as you mature yourselves practicing those learnings, you evolve.
Hmm.
And that's the
Right.
exact case with RS. You
Hmm.
understand the concept from my webinars which I have done. There are 3 webinars. Enough content is there to
Hmm.
take you to the next level of investing. Every person who will do this, he will be able to do this very very easily. But
Right.
for building the conviction, he will have to give time.
Hmm.
प्रमल जी दो क्वेश्चन है। एक तो फर्स्ट इज कि हम जैसे आप बोल रहे हैं कि हमें हिस्ट्री देखनी चाहिए कि विच स्टॉक हैज कंसिस्टेंटली आउट परफॉर्म। सो कितने दिनों की हिस्ट्री हम देखेंगे एंड देन वी डिसाइड आर एंट्री एग्जिट। Secondly, how do we scan these stocks? Do we have something on stockage, or how do we do the scanning of these stocks to get that list?
एब्सोल्युटली. देखिए, आरएस का स्टडी जब इवॉल्व हुआ था फर्स्ट वेबिनार के बाद, and we got many people, around 2000 people who joined us on this journey. So the first thing which we did was, me and Vivek Bajaj, we planned out something where we have these tools, the scanners inbuilt into the stockage application. तो
Correct.
आज हम ARS यूज करते हैं एडेप्टिव आरएस के लिए, SRS यूज करते हैं स्टैटिक आरएस के लिए. ये दोनों के स्कैन्स इनबिल्ट है स्टॉकेज एप्लीकेशन. It just needs your 5 minutes and you have the filtration of which stocks today have outperformed and which are turning positive or negative. Okay, there are 4 or 5 different scans inside the stockage application. One just goes there, runs those scans, and he has the results. It's so simple. I can myself quote this, that in 2011, all this manual calculation on a calculator to check the outperformance, it used to take me 8 and 9 hours a day to actually find out the outperforming stocks. Which, after the invent of all these tools, scanners, and the systems like TradingView and all these things, my job is just 5-6 minutes a day. I get everything sorted, you know. But yes, as I told before also, and I'm telling again, that everything which you learn has to be practiced, and over a time, only with practice you can master it, sir. The whole concept. It's a beautiful concept. I will try to push as much as content when I am live at the Goa conclave, you know, so that the new people who are not introduced to RS, they also come to know the beauty of this system. And please, everybody, see, the name sounds very close to RSI. You know, many, I've met thousands of people who say RSI, but actually the name are pretty close, but the whole concept is on a different platform.
Absolutely.
Right.
मैंने
It
स्क्रीन
has
पे डाल
nothing to
रखा
do
है.
with relative strength index. This is relative strength in absolute terms measured versus the benchmark. Well, relative strength indicator is something which you use more often for the momentum trading. Okay, so it's a totally different thing. Please all do not confuse yourself with RSI and RS. And the beauty is understanding the concept from the webinars which are already there on the platform. And then, if possible and if it's convenient to you, please meet me personally at the conclave and let's try together, evolve together, you know, so that I also have insights from the people who are practicing it. I give my insights to them, and sharing is, you know, where you grow yourselves. So everybody meeting together and sitting across the table to discuss these tools will be a great experience for everyone.
सो प्रमल जी, यहाँ पे स्क्रीन पे मैंने स्टॉकेज के वो स्कैन्स खोल दिए, अडेप्टिव एंड
Yes.
स्टैटिक दोनों. So if you could just tell the viewers that which one to use and what information they give, I think they will get more clarity.
See, actually, basically, the tools can be used in conjunction with lot many things. प्योरली अगर आपको चाहिए कि हमारा ARS जो है, अडेप्टिव RS क्रॉसओवर हो रहा है, तो देयर इज अ टूल विच इज फॉर दैट, जहां पे आपको आइदर SRS और ARS, आइदर ऑफ इट इज क्रॉसिंग ओवर. सो वी हैव अ स्कैन फॉर दैट. यू नो, इफ यू वांट ऑलरेडी एस्टैब्लिश प्लेयर्स को आपको ढूंढना है जो ऑलरेडी तेंदुलकर बन चुका है, तो उसके लिए दोनों ऊपर है, उसके लिए रेडीमेड स्कैन है. सी, इट्स एन इंडिविजुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग कि मुझे किस टाइप का प्लेयर अपनी टीम में सिलेक्ट करना है. मुझे इमर्जिंग प्लेयर चाहिए या मुझे एस्टैब्लिश प्लेयर चाहिए. ओके, if I'm a person who is looking for an emerging player, I will go with a scan which selects the crossover ones. Okay, if I am wanting to take somebody who's established already, I will take the ones which are showing already above the ARS and SRS. Okay, this is an individual decision which one has to. On both the sides, there are plus and minuses. Okay, established batsman who is just trying to be a Tendulkar, sometimes he fails, sometimes he performs excellent, and as I showed you in the other two charts, they are ones who establish themselves. Then there is 500% return also, which can be capitalized. For an established one, the half part of the journey is already done. You know, when does a player become established? He already has done 100% run or 150% run. So here you get more consistency, but less return vis-a-vis the one who is emerging. Okay,
Absolutely.
so a person has to decide what he wants to pick, but definitely in conjunction with these tools, and there are combo scans also which one can build using stockage. So you can pick like 52-week high conjunction with RS scanners. You can pick something
Correct.
like high volume and delivery stocks with RS scanners, and you can again add something more to those scans. See, the beauty lies in not finding out 15-20 stocks every day. If you have a scanner which you have developed with your own understanding, and you are getting 2 or 3 stocks end of the day, it makes your task much more easier to analyze. You know,
Absolutely.
and it also makes your task easy to decide upon which one you want to learn. I have designed 5 or 6 different type of combo scans for my
Hmm.
utilities. If people
Right.
want to understand those scans, I'm open to show them in the conclave which we are doing. And if people want to use them, I'm absolutely fine with using those combo scans for their daily analysis.
प्रमल जी, बेस्ड ऑन योर एक्सपीरियंस, नॉर्मली जब हम आर स्ट्रैटेजी को फॉलो करते हैं, तो व्हाट हैज बीन एन एवरेज सक्सेस रेट ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर thought process? We've been getting this question many times by PS, so and some other viewers also. So because obviously every
Success,
strategy has certain, yeah,
see, success is ultimately the outcome of what you pick and choose. Okay,
correct.
there is no one stock which everybody picks up. Okay,
Hmm.
so if I pick up stock X and you pick up stock Y, mine and your success will be at a different level. First is
Right.
this. Okay,
Yes,
second is, if I am a little better than you to pick a stock which seems better, obviously my strike rate will be higher.
Hmm.
You know, third important thing, which duration are you taking? See, we all know there is a trending market
Hmm.
wherein we either have a downtrend or an uptrend, and there is also a sideways market where we have nothing.
Right.
Like if you go in the last 6-8 months, we
Hmm.
already are at the same point where we were in the last June, July.
Right.
Okay, so in a trending market where the market itself went by, let's say, 20% or 30%,
Hmm.
obviously RS stocks will deliver 40%, 50%, 70%.
Hmm.
But in the last 6 months, where the market itself is at the same level, approximately
Hmm.
same level, where we were, wouldn't you even consider a 10% return as a good one?
Yeah,
absolutely,
it's a good return. Yeah.
very
So,
good.
whenever we talk of returns, we have to see the relative comparison. We are
Hmm.
talking of
Correct.
something like relative strength, and then we talk of percentage return which are fixed. It can't
Hmm.
happen.
Right.
Okay, so let's be very practical over here. Our expectations should always be in conjunction with the performance of the broader index.
Hmm.
I think that is a very,
So
very good
I can
insight.
see
I mean,
another scenario wherein the broader index has fallen by 10% in the next 6 months. Let's
Hmm.
assume so. Okay,
Right.
and if your portfolio has fallen by 5% vis-a-vis the benchmark falling 10%, that also is in performance.
Right.
वो कोई
So,
कोई आके रोएगा कि सर पिछले 6 महीने में तो मेरा पोर्टफोलियो 5% घट गया, पर भाई साहब बेंचमार्क कितना घटा है वो भी तो देखिए ना.
right.
I think we
Uh,
lost Pramalji.
okay.
So,
So Vikrant is asking what is the advisable time frame. So Premal ji is going to share his entire concept of RS during the Goa conclave. But you want to understand more, you should visit one of his webinar, which is there on eLearn Markets website. Uh, but the ideal time frame, just to give you an answer, the ideal time frame, the, whatever charts he has shown, is all of daily time frame. तो इसको छोटे टाइम फ्रेम में कैसे ट्रेड करते हैं ही विल एक्सप्लेन इन द प्रोग्राम्स एंड इन द गोवा कॉन्क्लेव.
Kaushik, I think we had a great evening. We had a great
Yep.
session. All our viewers did have an insight what exactly is RS and the power of RS, how
Right.
these stocks can actually outperform the index, how our portfolio can be protected with especially the kind of markets which we
Right.
had in the last 3 to 4 months.
Uh,
So it is a value addition, and
hmm.
I also showed them that how you can scan those stocks using the stockade scan, and
Right.
they can make use of that. So we have Pramalji again. So
Yeah. Once again, I'm really sorry. Today
it's
was a
okay.
tough task for me. In fact, I know I've used two different laptops and whatnot. I've tried to be with connecting with you all, and I've tried
Right.
my best. But I'm really sorry for viewers जिनको interruption हुए because of my coming and going into the session. But
सर कुछ
yes,
चीजें अपने हाथों में नहीं होती है तो चलता
I
है.
know, I know. With computer and everything, some things are beyond our control. Absolutely.
Right.
Any other questions you want me to take?
Hmm. आई गेस प्रेमल जी एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन लेते हैं कि
Okay.
आरएस स्ट्रैटेजी सबसे शॉर्टेस्ट टाइम फ्रेम में अगर यूज करना तो सबसे शॉर्टेस्ट क्या होना चाहिए स्टडी के लिए कि शुड वी डू
मैं
इट ऑन
प्रेफर
डेली
करता
टाइम
हूँ
फ्रेम और
कि
बिलो दैट?
मैं डेली चार्ट्स पे ही यूज करता हूँ आरएस स्ट्रेटेजी को.
अच्छा.
And as far as my personal experience goes, daily
हम्म.
charts are your best approach to practicing RS strategies. जहाँ पे आपको फ्रीक्वेंट इन आउट नहीं करना है, फ्रीक्वेंट ये नहीं सोचना है कि मेरा परसेंटेज रिटर्न 100% हो गया, अभी मैं स्टॉक को रखूं या बेच दूं.
राइट.
See, I tell you something. There is one kind of money which you make big money, but with lot of stress in life. You know,
राइट.
there is other kind of money which can't be that big, maybe a little lesser, but it's peaceful money. Okay,
राइट.
so one has to think what gives you more happiness in life.
Correct.
आपको बहुत ज्यादा पैसा बहुत स्ट्रेस लेके बनाना है तो आप सब चीजें कर सकते हैं जो शॉर्ट टर्म में. Okay?
राइट.
आपको बहुत ज्यादा पैसा नहीं चाहिए, थोड़ा कम है, बट पीसफुली मिल रहा है, जहाँ पे स्ट्रेस नहीं है, एंजाइटी नहीं है, ब्लड प्रेशर नहीं हो रहा है, हेल्थ को अफेक्ट नहीं हो रहा है, और आप प्रॉफिट्स कर रहे जा रहे हैं, आपका पोर्टफोलियो अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रहा है.
राइट.
आर यू हैप्पी विथ इट? कम टू आरएस, मोस्ट वेलकम.
राइट. So thank you, Premal ji, for an interesting session. So I guess we learned a lot on RS, and I guess we'll see you in Goa with lot of insights on RS. तो वहाँ पे
I'm
बहुत
very
Absolutely.
कुछ
good.
सीखने को मिलेगा. एंड आप वहाँ पे
I
3 दिन के लिए
super
रहेंगे.
excited. I am super excited because 3 साल के बाद ऑनलाइन तो हमने बहुत कर लिया. You know,
राइट.
I've got feedbacks and reviews where the members have written, sir आप बोल रहे थे 800 लोग थे, 1000 लोग थे, 1200
हाँ.
लोग थे,
हाँ.
बट मुझे तो मेरा कंप्यूटर का स्क्रीन ही दिख रहा था भाई साहब. 1000 हो या 10 हो, basically it makes difference when people are face to face. आप
Absolutely.
10 लोगों के
हाँ.
साथ फेस टू फेस बैठ के जब आप डिस्कशन करते हो, then your positivity in the whole avenue is on a different level. Okay?
Absolutely.
कोरोना ने हम सबको ऑनलाइन बना दिया, वो अलग चीज है, बट एब्सोल्युटली आई एम अ पीपल्स पर्सन, एंड मुझे इंटरैक्शन करने से, लोगों को मिलने से जो खुशी मिलती है, उनके व्यूज उनके मुंह से सुनने में और उनको एक्सप्लेन करने में या उनका व्यूज लेके सीखने में जो खुशी मिलती है, वो शायद 3 साल में पहली बार गोवा कॉन्क्लेव में मिलेगा.
राइट.
Ji. So thank you, everybody. I think we had a great session, great insights, and thank you, Pramal ji. गोवा में मिलते हैं जल्दी. Time is ticking.
Absolutely. I hope to see you both along.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely will be there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh,
Yes.
Great
Thank
thank
you.
you
then.
so much. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.